Hey there, everyone! Today I'm doing another BookTube tag, in this case the BookTube About Me tag. The purpose of this tag is for those who are watching to learn more about the person who hosts the YouTube channel, essentially. So a lot of these questions most if not all of them, don't really have anything to do with reading at all. It's more just, what else do you do? What else about you? Which I think is pretty neat. Aside from a person's personality, you want to get to know that person better, right? And I'm sure you guys want to get to know me better. So there are 10 questions total. I'll also have the original video linked in the description below if you want to check it out. Maybe if you haven't done it, you'd want to do it yourself. Let's get started. Question number 1 is, what do you study, or what is your job? Okay, so in terms of schooling, I only ever went as far as grade 12 graduation. I never bothered with post-secondary. I had a hard time going through regular elementary school and high school as it is. The way the teachers taught wasn't really sitting well with me. I wasn't registering stuff very well, so I actually didn't do that great in school. But I managed to graduate, and that's all my mother wanted out of me, so that's fine. In terms of a job, though, I've been working for the same company for about, how long is it now? I think I'm almost about to hit the start of the 15th year, I think? Or is it 14th? I'm not entirely certain. But in any case, it's been over a decade. And I've been working for the same company, and essentially what I do is I am a dressing room associate at a Marshall's. And it's good. It's good. I enjoy it. It's my favorite area of the store to be, preferably because I don't like being up at cash. I never really had a bad experience with cash or anything. It's just, it affects my anxiety levels, you know? It's just I'm not a people person. I'm a huge introvert, so being up at cash means I have to deal with people all the time, whereas with him in the dressing rooms, it's just like, oh, hey, how many items do you have? Okay, here's your number. Go try shit on. And I don't say it that way, but you get the gist of it. And then they come back out, and it's like, oh, hey, how'd you do? I'll take the stuff you don't want. Bye. Have a good one. And that's it. It's my favorite position on the job. My managers are pretty good. And with, knowing my limitations and knowing what I can or can't do. They would prefer if I worked in other areas too, because in every area I've been trained in, I'm really good at what I do. But they're pretty thrilled with me being in the dressing rooms. That they're perfectly happy with me there. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite social media channel? For me, this is a tie between Twitter and Reddit. I spend a lot of time on both of those, more so than I do Facebook and Instagram. Generally, the order in which I browse the apps on my phone is I have a very particular order I browse them in, and I don't normally do them out of order. So I do Facebook first, then Twitter, then Instagram, and then I end on Reddit. And that's probably because Reddit I spend a lot more time on. I browse through a lot of stuff on Reddit. And Facebook probably a bit more than I would like to, but I get easily distracted, so yeah. But yeah, if there was only 2 social media channels and I could pick those 2, it would be Twitter and Reddit. Question number 3 is, if you had another channel, what would it be about? If you've watched my BookTube newbie tag, you probably already have an idea about this, and that is a gaming channel. I play video games a lot. And that's the thing I was originally going to do, was a gaming channel before I decided on BookTube. And for me, BookTube is easier, primarily because I don't really have to have a really good quality computer with more modern parts in order to do this stuff. So that makes it easier. If I was doing gaming stuff, because of the status my computer is in, I would probably instead just have to record from my console, like hook it up to my computer somehow and then do it that way, because I tried recording gameplay directly from my PC and the frame rate was so painfully low, no one would want to watch those videos. It was horrible. Question number 4 is, do you play instruments? Not now. But I did like the piano when I was younger. There was a period of time where my sister and I did have piano lessons for a while. It didn't stick though. And in elementary school, there was a point in time in which we were, as part of the curriculum, we were to learn the recorder, which is kind of like a flute-ish instrument. which I didn't mind, I suppose. But if I had to choose, I would go back to piano for sure. I would love to have my own piano again. Question number 5 is, what hobbies do you have other than reading? I mean, one of them is obvious, I've already stated it, video games, but I also write. I'm going through the slow process of writing my own novel manuscript. It's a good experience. I love it. It's definitely slow coming, especially since I just recovered from a cold recently, and that really did me in. And I have to be in a particular state in order to write. You know, I have to have music in my ears. I can't really have any much distraction at all. And with 2 cats running around, it's not really that easy to have not other distractions. Because if it's not the cats playing around, it's the kitten meowing for attention and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a challenge, but I enjoy it. I think it's great. Question number 6 is favorite TV shows. Oh gosh, I haven't properly watched TV in any form for a while, and I don't really pay attention to streaming services. I don't even have a sub to any streaming services anymore. I used to have one to Crunchyroll, which is an anime streaming service. So I remember back in the day, I loved watching Charmed. I've seen every single episode of that series. I can't remember much of it now because it's been a long time since I watched it, but I love Charmed. Parts of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. were okay. I kind of fell off of it after a while, though. If you count anime as a TV show, then Sailor Moon, obviously. I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan, always have been, always will be. I also really liked the anime adaptation of Cardcaptor Sakura. Possibly my favorite anime-like show. I say anime-like show because it was a Japanese-Canadian co-production, and that is Cyber 6. And it's such a good show. There was only 11 episodes, and I did some research on it. And there's a very adult Argentinian graphic novel of the same name. And the kids' cartoon that they made was based off of that. So, and of course, because it's a cartoon for young people, there's not really anything adult in it. It was interesting to see, when I did my research, what they did to pull from the original source material, but still make it appropriate. I don't know if I'd ever read the graphic novel. I don't think it'd be my thing. But the show I loved. It's probably my favorite TV show of all time. And yeah, it's great. If you've never heard of Cyber 6, I recommend looking it up. You can actually buy the DVD set of all the episodes now, which I haven't done. I need to get around to that. Check it out. Question number 7 is, what got you into reading? Okay. What got me into reading? So, my mother and my father have always been very big readers, and they've always encouraged my sister and I to read, so that's basically been the main catalyst when it comes to reading things in general, is just, if you want to read something, if something looks interesting to you. And one thing, too, is that my parents didn't really care if it was an adult book or a kid's book or whatever. They encouraged us to ask questions about stuff we didn't know. Question number 8 is, what are your favorite and least favorite genres? Okay, so favorite genre is fantasy, because that's the genre in which most of the books I like to read usually fall into. Least favorite genre, I would probably say, is romance. I don't believe romance can carry a book in of itself. I think it's boring as hell. And if you can have romance in a book that already has other elements in it, like a fantasy book that also has romance in it, but a book that's strictly about the romance and that is it, I don't care how good your character development is, I am going to be bored. I am going to be very bored. I don't find romance entertaining. You better have a good story wrapped around that romance for me to enjoy it. Question number 9 is, what books define your childhood? Okay, so The Babysitter's Club, Goosebumps. I remember loving The Black Pearl when I was a kid as well. There might have been a few other books, but those are the ones that I remember as a child actually really, really enjoying. And number 10 is, tell us an interesting fact about you. Ugh. Oh boy. Interesting fact about me. Oh gosh, what do I say? Okay, you know what I will say? Some of you may have noticed that I have a bulging eye right over here, alright? So I'm going to use this to say that I actually have an overreactive thyroid. I have since I was born, essentially. And this bulging eye I've got over here is actually a result of a thyroid condition called Graves' disease. And that's what it does. It makes the eyes bulge out of their sockets. I don't know why only one eye is affected and not the other, but it's been that way for years, literally. Like, I do take some stuff to lessen the effect, but it's always been there. It's just something I've had to manage. What did you think? Have you done this tag? Do you want to do this tag? What did you think of what you learned about me today? And pretty much anything else. Plug it in the comments below. I want to hear about it from you. Thanks for watching. I post a video every Tuesday and Friday, and have a good one, guys. Bye!